Hello, welcome to CarCast. I'm Matt, the moderator DeAndre here with Bill Goldberg. We've got a this goes flying by in his chair.
I'm back.
He's in the garage today. A lot going on in there. Uh,
Understatement.
yeah. We've got some fun stuff to talk about. Before we do, let me just talk about Bet Online, the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. The biggest betting weekend of this year is finally here, which means more updated odds and props for Super Sunday. We have hundreds of prop bets, MVP odds, and exclusive in-game live betting. Bet Online is your ultimate game day companion. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, Bet Online offers you everything and more to enhance your game day experience. Visit the website today to get in on the action. Bet Online, the game starts here.
And their sister company, sportsbetting.ag. I'm about to put out a video for them today. And yeah, you said it's the biggest sports betting weekend.
Yeah.
And I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'm the NFL guy. I'm a football guy. I live it and I breathe it, but I cannot stand Kansas City. And I'm so sick of watching them in the Super Bowl that thank God for places like sportsbetting.ag because they have the goofiest prop bets I have ever seen in my entire life, which is going to make the game exciting for me, right?
Yeah.
So they do like, I don't know, will they say three-peat in the first 20 minutes of the game? What's the over-under? Will Travis Kelce wear Taylor's on G-string or all this goofy stuff that these prop bets make it really interesting. So I can't wait for the game just so I can win or lose some of those just to make it interesting, man.
That's fun.
Well, it's a lot more fun than watching the same people play in this freaking game every single year for me. So,
right.
I don't know.
Last week we were talking about prepping for your big WWE match, and you were talking about just like you got to cut out the booze, got to get into shape, and you can't dip, can't do any of that, and
this is some kind of don't mistake it, ladies and gentlemen. This is not Copenhagen. This is some kind of an herbal crap thing that has actually worked pretty well, man. I stopped dipping like 6 days ago. And, to get the benefit out of these stem cells, I'm going down to Colombia, the place called Bioaccelerator. To get the best benefit, you obviously have to lead the cleanest life prior and in the future, right? No smoking, no drinking, no nicotine, no caffeine. Basically, I gotta stop everything that I do. No, but what you want to do, quite obviously, is I've got something pretty big to lead up to, right? And so I want the playing field to be as positive as possible. I have to clear the slate and let technology do its thing with these stem cells. And I feel like I'm going through withdrawals of not having Copenhagen for 6 days, but hey, man, I'm a better man for it. And I think my wife appreciates it. She actually kisses me now. So no.
But you're feeling good and you're already seeing progress in the gym and you haven't even done the stem cell stuff. So just cleaning everything up and rebooting is
amazing.
Is already super effective.
It's so effective. My wife thinks it's wonderful, except for the fact that I'm extremely annoying because all I do is clean the house and weed eat and do all kind of things that keep me busy. But it's good. It's really good. I'm extremely productive now. Continuing to rip this thing apart, which we need to talk about here in a moment. But yeah, man, it's all good stuff. All good stuff. I'm terrified of the process of the stem cell process. But like I said, this bioaccelerator place, everybody go online. They can check it out. Kevin Nash has been there. DDP's been there. Matt Hughes has been there. Rogan's talked. I don't care about Rogan and talking about it, but there's a lot of people that I know that have been there that have had wonderful results. And, I'm going to give it a shot.
Yeah. I watched some of the videos with Kevin Nash talking about it. And I always liked Nash, but he was beat up way worse than I thought. Like
we all are.
Yeah.
None of us are going to tell the truth ever. I'm not going to, man, I blew my shoulder out, 7, 8 years ago. It's news to everybody this last couple months because I've hit it. The fact is that we don't seek sympathy. We're not looking for that thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a meathead. I'm a knuckle dragger. I don't complain. I try to just go about my business and perform to the best of my ability. But the reality is, I'm 58 years old. I'm embarking upon my final match. Obviously, I don't want to embarrass myself, my family, or my friends. And I want to go out the way I need to go out. And so I'm taking it seriously, and everybody else can kiss my ass, especially whoever the hell I'm going to wrestle, because they're in for one hell of a surprise.
All right. So now you got this newfound energy and you're feeling good. What are you doing?
Can you tell? Can you see it?
100%.
It's freaking totally crazy, man. It's absolutely nuts. It's wild. But
so you got the Cobra
like I'm on crack
you.
or something. I mean, like this is probably what crack would be like, because I can't stop talking and I can't stop moving. But it's weird. It's just a newfound energy.
Yeah. All right. So we said you got the Cobra behind you, which is a project we touched on over the past few months. Expel did the PPF on the body and try to figure that out.
Yeah, I mean, I'll jump right into it. Expel did the PPF on it. I've explained 1,000 times over, whether it's the podcast or whether it's the YouTube channel, that the Cobra is the toughest vehicle in the world to wrap. Well, no shit, because
here we go.
Here's where we're at right now with it. Right? I don't know how well you can see this, but man, is it lifting right here. And
really?
And they did the patch over it, to blend it right here, which really didn't work. And
I see it down there a little bit.
And see on the other side here, it's fine comparatively.
Yeah.
Right. So, as wonderful as the guys are at Expel and as unbelievable as their installers are, it's almost impossible. So they're going to have to come out and they're going to have to redo part of the front of the wrap. While that's being done, you and I spoke about coatings and about what to use on a header, which obviously dissipates so much heat. So I reached out, and there's a company that's going to stop by the house tomorrow. That's a Cerakote company.
Yeah.
And they reached out to Cerakote, and they sent them all the products. So they're going to jump on board. I'm going to film it for Goldberg's Garage on YouTube. But where do you start and where do you stop? Right? They sent me a picture, and I showed it to you a minute ago, of a Nelson racing engine that they completely Cerakoted. I mean, the whole thing.
Yeah.
And so, it's interesting. It's cool. It's flat black. It's neat. But is that something I want to do with the Cobra? Obviously, I flat blacked the entire car. The reason why I reached out to them to Cerakote is these bad boys.
Yeah.
Right?
These are the side pipes.
Right? Yeah. So stylistically, it's cool to have a flat black or all black car, but have a couple chrome accents, right? I think the only chrome I'm going to have on the entire car, or stainless on the entire car, is the gas cap. Literally.
Okay.
I think that's all I want. The wheels are already done. Side pipes are going to be done.
Are you doing the windshield frame?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. I kind of think it should be black. So this is a couple of thoughts would be, first of all, like what to Cerakote, what not to Cerakote, what to powder coat and stuff. On my 95 Lightning, the truck is black. It's a gloss black. And if you remember, we custom made, we machined out of billet aluminum new mirrors and door handles that
I remember that.
And I didn't want to do it in a gloss black where it's like a monochromatic thing and it looks like, something from an episode of Miami Vice from back in the day, right?
Same,
Uh,
same.
so what I did there was did like like one shade, two shades off black. It looks black.
Mhm.
If I handed you you'd be like, oh, this is a like a satin black door handle. But if you put it
Yep.
up against the shiny black paint, in my case, it looks a little it looks a little different. One, we did a satin on it, and two, it's like a shade off. So, uh, like combining things like different shades of black or a gunmetal gray or something kind of is a way to balance the black so it's not too much, but without making it too much bright work, like you're saying, the
That's
chrome stuff.
partially why I'm moving around and doing this segment, right?
Yeah.
Is because I want to ask your opinion, and at the same time, quite obviously, I'm going to ask everybody else's opinion out there. So, what started me reaching out and trying to find a solution for this, obviously, was the side pipe. But the next thing, considering I didn't want any chrome, your boys at Dakota Digital,
Yeah.
right? Well, this is the headlight. So, all of the bezels for the new gauges that are red, that will contrast with the flat black in the entire car, they have to be done. And they
Yeah.
can't be powder coated because it's too thick a substance. And so I think Cerakoting is absolutely the way to go.
Okay. I like that.
Boom. What is this? This is the tail, the trunk light,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
The
Like the
exterior light.
housing on the trunk light.
Yeah, the housing for the trunk light. Same thing there. License plate, same thing here, right? Because it's all exposed. Window frame,
Yeah.
same thing here. You know,
And there's the roll bar behind you.
yes, but the problem with the roll bar is, yes, 100%. I'm going to have them do the roll bar, right? I'm going to Cerakote it because I want it to match the trim for the headlights and for the bezels for the instrument cluster.
Yeah.
But I have to extend the roll bar. I have to put at least 2 inches on it, 3 inches, because
Oh, right.
obviously
Yeah.
it only goes up to my shoulder. So I can't send it off to them yet because it needs to be done. But they'll be here tomorrow. Here, trunk.
Yeah. Some trim. Oh, that's just the prop rod.
It's just the prop
Yeah.
rod.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do that also. Or do I keep that chrome, right? There needs to be a couple things that are chrome. Like I said, as of right now, the only thing that I'm going to keep chrome is the gas cap.
Yeah.
I truly believe that's it. I mean, rear view mirror, the housing for the rear view mirror. I'm going to do that also. There's just so much little stuff that needs to be done, and like I said, this is the only thing that's going to stay
Yeah, because
standard.
I don't know how you put a coating on it where it doesn't chip off eventually as you're locking that, because it's a locking gas cap. It's got like that,
Yeah,
like you could do a part of it, but not all of it. Like, I mean, certainly ask them, but what you do in a case like that, and if do you just leave it raw? I mean, you say it's chrome, it's just a polished
it's
aluminum.
just polished
Yeah,
aluminum. Yeah,
because if you scuff it up, you just polish it again. Like you can,
exactly.
you
I
can
think
bring
it
it
looks
back.
badass, and
Yeah.
it's iconic, right? Obviously. And here are all the emblems on the car. There's 3 emblems. The Cobra emblem on the front, the hood.
Yeah.
I'm completely replacing it with the Goldberg's garage emblem. The ones on the side, well, it's not a 427 Cobra, so why have the badges
Right.
that say 427 Cobra? So
Right.
it's time to personalize the thing. It's time to do it right, and you know, so what's your opinion of the hood rod,
Well, the prop rod
the
is
prop rod? What
mostly
do you
in
think?
the trunk. You don't really see it unless you open the
No,
trunk
and
anyway.
it's it's the hood. It's
Yeah.
not in the trunk.
Oh, okay. So there's the prop rod for the hood. Do you keep it chrome? I mean, again, because if you fold it down and it has like a little catch on it, like a spring-loaded clamp, anything where you have that on and off tension, I wonder if the Cerakote or anything else would hold up. It's going to scratch at some
Well,
point.
I'll give you that answer in 2 weeks
Yeah.
because they'll be here tomorrow. I'm going to ask them that, and hopefully the answer is it won't scratch. But uh, truthfully, I don't think it's going to scratch because if you look at 90% of the stuff that's Cerakoted, which is a firearm,
Yeah.
you don't see those scratch. You just don't
Right.
because you're moving the slide back and forth. Um, Obviously, you put a can on it. I wonder if you could. Obviously, you could Cerakote a can, which is a silencer, and those things get red hot. I don't know if it would chip, but that's a serious question. I'll
I
put to
mean,
him tomorrow.
so that would be the question. Be like on the issue of the gas cap, which you could leave raw, but ask them anyway. How do you do something that metal on metal constantly touching
Yeah,
on the prop rod? If it clips into a metal piece or a plastic piece, does it wear off? Or in the prop rod, do you do the whole thing in a color, but just leave the raw piece of metal like an inch long where it clips in? Which also becomes like an indicator of where you clip it in, right? So it shows you where it goes. So it's just kind of an interesting thought.
yeah.
And then, well, so first of all, on those pieces, I think they're going to come in and bring you like color samples and things like that. And then you have to go, all right, you will kind of want the car like murdered out like that you're talking about. But if if doing a different shade of black or a satin black or something like that for some pieces, does that make it pop enough? What you don't want it to look like is like you just went into the paint booth and just sprayed everything at once.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You
That's the
kind of want those
problem.
pieces to stand out. So, is there something in between, like a gray, a dark gray, a satin gunmetal gray, and full black that makes sense? That's going to look good.
But and there's the question of is there anything that you gloss black, right?
Right.
Because there's a
So,
gloss black stripe on the middle of the Cobra. So
yeah.
is there anything like off the top of my head? I think this will be badass gloss black,
Well,
right?
so there's a couple pieces. So the exterior trim pieces, like the window frame and the rear tail light housing, um, do do those, and maybe the roll bar. Do you do those in the gloss black, or
I don't know. I don't know what to
or do you
do.
make
So
them stand out a little separately? I think when
yeah.
you get into the interior, if you're doing like a door puller or a door handle or even the gauge bezels,
Mhm.
even if there's like a metal shifter bezel, if there's like a ring around the a
Yep.
shifter that holds the boot down, you could bring in some of that. Uh,
Yep.
but so I guess the question is the standout pieces on the Cobra on the exterior are going to be the roll bar, the window frame, and the exhaust pipes, the side
Hmm.
pipes. Do you do those in some sort of black, or do you do those like in a dark gunmetal gray, like a satin gunmetal gray, and have those pieces stand out?
Yeah.
That'll probably answer your question on the. Once you figure that out, that'll probably answer your question on what do you do the tail light bezel and I don't remember. Does that car have the chrome ring around the grill opening, or is it
No, it does not.
doesn't have it?
Okay,
Okay.
so you look at the headers, right? Or the
Yeah.
header tubes. Okay, do I do those? And I do the do you do the pipe? Or I have to. I got to take
Yeah,
the
no,
header
I
tubes
I
off,
think
right?
if you're doing the exhaust, you do the headers, you do now
Okay, where do
anything
you
you
where do
do.
you stop?
Well,
Where do you stop, right? Do I do the valve covers? Do I do the air cleaner? It's just yeah, it's a cool opportunity and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's just you wonder, where do I stop?
you do. So and the issue with Cerakote and not the issue, just the questions I have on Cerakote are there are a lot of people that specialize in high temperature coatings.
Mhm.
On exhaust, on engine paint and stuff like that. You mentioned that they went in and did an engine, a complete engine for Tom Nelson, Nelson Racing
Mhm.
Engines. I visited him a couple of years back. We toured a garage, and I was asking him as well. It's like, your engines look great. You're doing this blackout thing. How are you doing it? And he said,
Hmm.
I'm just using any high temp engine paint, just in a paint can, basically in a rattle
Wow.
can. And I said, okay. And I go, how do you get it to last? He said, the it's the prep. It's the prep. He uses like an aerospace cleaner that he gets from, I don't know, the airport or something, somewhere near where he is.
Hmm.
And it's the prep, and then he uses a primer, and he's figured out the right timing. You can experiment with this, is where it starts to dry and gets a little tacky, and right in that window of being tacky applies the black paint. It's gotta be the right time. So it's got to be super, super clean prep, acid,
Hmm.
whatever this high strength aerospace cleaner is. I got some. I wrote it all down at some point. Um, and then the primer uses, and then the paint, and then it seems to last. Now, the issue, of course, is the heat dissipation on your
Hmm.
exhaust, on your engine block, things like that. Is if it doesn't have a way to, I guess, I'm not a chemical scientist, but if it doesn't have a
Breathe.
way to breathe,
Yeah.
then it would just peel it all off. It would just peel it off. We had this issue with coating floors as well. Out here, where I am in the Venice Beach area, I had a company come in when I had to the warehouse before they doubled my rent and I had to
Yeah.
leave. Was it's basically right near the river that goes you know, to the ocean. When you watch, you know, all the disaster films in LA.
Yeah.
There's the river that goes through LA. It's right next to it, but the Bologna wetlands. So
Hmm.
when they prepped it, he's like, listen, we could coat it, but the moisture from the ground will come through that cement and come up, and that's what causes all the bubbles and the peeling. So
Yeah.
they needed to do a moisture test to figure out how much is coming through. And then when they prep it, they had to really kind of sand it down and prep it and make sure it's getting very, very dry, and then
Yeah.
basically a primer, and then their coating, and then a top coat
Jesus.
on it.
Yeah.
So it just be listen. If I did this in Arizona, it would be a little bit different issue. you know.
Exactly. So it's
So the question
perfecting it, it's
of heat and Cerakote,
perfecting the process,
yeah,
with your surroundings and then finding the right coating. But we'll see how it turns out. I mean, I'm very much looking forward to it. He's going to make me do it, which will be fun. And Sarah Coach jumped in and provided all the supplies for it. So we'll see. And I'm going to have him do my Desert Eagle 50 caliber at the same time.
like when I was doing the small pieces on mine, because I kind of like what you're talking about. Like I had the door handles and the mirrors done, not a gloss black. It's done in like a shade off satin black. And then I had billet badges. I worked with them before. They make custom badges like your
Uh-huh.
Cobra emblem and stuff. And I was like, we're doing a supercharger on it. So instead of just F-150 badge, let's put supercharger on it, but make it look like the original one. They made it. They did it. It was great. I put it on there. It looked kind of factory looking. And then I was like, oh, you know what? The black that they used in the embossed section of the emblem won't match now. So I just took those off, and the Ford emblems in the back. I had billet badges make me billet versions, so I didn't just have
Hmm.
like the plastic looking kind of blue oval.
Yeah.
They carved it out and gave it kind of a 3D look. So I sent those and had them Cerakoted in the same kind of satin black, right?
Nice.
And and then it fills in the grooves, and then where it says Ford, because those are raised letters, we just sanded it off. So it's got kind of a brushed aluminum look on the lettering, but it's got the satin black on the inside, and it came out great.
Well, as you're talking, I just came up with a freaking solution that's extremely easy. If they're going to make me go through the process in showing people how it's done, I'm going to take I'm going to take three different bezels and I'm going to do them in three different colors and I'm going to bring them back to the garage and I'm going to see which one works.
That's
I
it.
mean,
Just
it's the only way to do it, right? It's not like I'm going to do, one side pipe and then the other side pipe, a different one and bring it back. No, it's a little freaking bezel. So I might as well do it that way and make sure that I'm happy with the process.
That way, if you do a couple pieces like that, and like on your gauges from Dakota Digital, you can put a bezel up there and see how it looks. But also, you can just hold it next to the satin wrap on the body and go, do I like this look? Do I want this?
Exactly. And also it's going to play in the dash is going to play into it because it's a carbon fiber dash, exposed carbon fiber. So that throws a wrench in, exactly what color I'm going to do. So yeah, if I get Savaggio to send me that damn dash and I can have it in hand and then do the different shades, then yeah, I mean,
is he going to do a matte carbon or a gloss carbon?
I haven't figured that out yet. That's again another question because it sets a domino effect as to which one I pick, right? So I mean, I don't know. I want this to be the most subtle vehicle out there, even though it's a 900 horsepower killing machine.
Yeah.
But I want it stealth, and I don't know. I mean, there has to be a little bit of gloss. Like I said, the only thing on it right now are the stripes that are gloss. And so maybe I go with a gloss carbon fiber dash.
And then you could probably do like a gloss, like the gauge bezels you can do in a gloss black, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I go satin with them to match the body and then have the gloss of the dash match the stripes. I mean, so I just don't.
Well, like you said, you could have a few pieces done and bring them in, and then you can hold them up against the paint, against the gloss carbon piece. There's probably some gloss carbon piece in your garage somewhere, and there's probably a matte carbon piece.
yes, there's plenty, but
that you can hold it up against to see how.
Yeah, and then truth be told, I mean, if I don't like the process, then frick, we redo the whole thing later, or it looks like a brand new vehicle because we took all the accessories off and recoated them in a different shade or whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, have we? I know we've touched on a lot of things on the podcast, but I haven't taken you for a walk around of the sleigh, have I?
No, you haven't. So let's do this. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Because I got to show you that.
All right. So yeah, and then for you YouTube guys, we'll put this up on YouTube as well.
Yeah, and I'm gonna quite obviously hit a really big story about the vehicle and its history and the fact that, I mean, we talked about me having the fenders for the, like not the elephant car. What do you call it? What do you call the cars? The first edition before it comes out, the mule. The mule. So remember, I did the Santa Claus appearance for Dodge.
Yeah.
And then the sleigh was part of it. And then as I walked into the setting or the stage, I saw the wide body fenders on the ground. Remember I told you this story?
Right, yeah, yeah.
And I was building the wide body and I asked them if I could have them. Well, guess what? Ironically, and I've got the pictures to prove it from Mark Trussell, those fenders were from this.
Okay, so you've got the sleigh, you've got the Dodge sleigh from the commercial. And I can kind of see, yeah, I see the flares.
So they were from the front of this vehicle. And so not only do I have the sleigh, not only do I have the mule fenders, but this was the freaking mule that they turned into the sleigh.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
I'll send you pictures and I'll document it online on the YouTube channel. But I've got photos of this prior to its teardown. And those fenders came off of it. And what makes those fenders special is that there's rubber rivets on the outside of them.
Yeah.
Which are present on no other wide body.
Yeah.
And then I've got the video of them tearing them off of this car. So it's a really cool deal. it's a really, really cool deal.
How much dancing did you have to do for Dodge to get that sleigh from the TV commercial?
Well, I haven't finished the dance yet by any stretch. Part of it is going to Roadkill Nights. And so we know that Roadkill Nights is going to happen in August again because I'm scheduled to appear there. So, yeah, that and a number of other PR requirements. But the fact is that between myself and Rob Hart taking ownership of this through the Historical Society of Stellantis, Mopar,
Mhm.
it's a huge honor, man. I mean, it's one of the coolest things in the world.
Yeah.
I must say that I'm extremely pissed off that I signed a contract that says I can't alter it in any way, shape, or form. Now I get it. I completely understand it, except for the fact that obviously Santa Claus, and we know that I'm Santa Claus. Obviously, Santa was a bad sumbitch because Santa has a 6-speed.
We can't see it. I can't see it. All right, there it is. Yeah.
Not only
Like,
does not only does Santa have a 6-speed, but Santa has a sleigh with 797 horsepower. That's
I didn't know it had
absolutely
an engine
freaking
in it.
useless. Oh, yeah. I didn't either. I forgot. I completely forgot it had an engine. So, as I said, when I signed the contract with the Historical Society, it said that I can't alter the car in any way, shape, or form. So, I can't pull it out. I can't put it in another car. I can't pull it out and put it on a stand, which I think I'm going to try to do. Because the fact is, this thing is one heavy sumbitch, and I can't move it. It's on 4 casters, and I'm gonna have to redo the casters. But it's a bitch to move around, man. It
Yeah.
really is. And so I believe that I got to come to some agreement with them about taking this motor out.
Yeah, there's probably other solutions, but I'm not even going to suggest them because I don't
Yes,
want to.
please don't. But
It's going to
this
change our
thing
plan.
is this
Yeah,
thing's
it's a
really
cool piece.
cool,
The thing's
man.
fun. I
I
saw
mean,
it on display out here a few years ago during when you were doing the commercials at I think it was the LA Auto Show.
look at the trunk.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing's it's a freaking unbelievable
I
vehicle.
didn't realize how much they cut up a real car to make it. I thought they were just gonna let's just make a big, go George Barris style, make a big fiberglass body or something that is based off of the proportions and the lines of the vehicle. But I didn't realize they were cutting up a vehicle
Well,
to make it.
I didn't really realize it either until we were doing the commercial, right? And the commercial was out in LA, and I had the benefit. I mean, the sleigh had just been finished, and so I had the benefit of speaking to the guys who actually built it. From the mule red eye that it actually was, and man, they did an unbelievable job. They really did, and it was obviously the first time they embarked upon something like that, and the thing is just absolutely beautiful. I mean, you can't tell where they did anything. You
Yeah.
can tell it was a Hollywood, stunt and special effects company for sure. But man, the thing's a dream. It really is, especially being Jewish. So it's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool, man. I mean, to
It's got
have it.
the reindeer though. It's like the
Oh yeah,
hell deer on the side, right? The Hellcat with the antlers. Yeah.
yep, pretty cool.
And you're right. You've been on so many sets before that, we've seen movie cars and they're such junk, but sometimes there's like one hero car that they use. And because they only made one of these, I guess, it is the hero car. So it was done well.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, they did a spectacular job. You can't see where it was cut up. Um,
Is there another one somewhere?
Hell no. This is the only one on the planet. This is the only one on the planet. The one that Little Nas used for his music video after, we used it. Same vehicle. I fumigated it before I took possession of it. But yeah, it's the thing is cooler than hell, man. Honest
Yeah,
to
it's
God,
a cool piece.
I'm very lucky to have it, and it's cool that they've entrusted me with it. But who better to have it than Santa Claus?
Right. Okay. So when did the Cerakote guys come by? Because you're gonna have to head to
Tomorrow. Yeah,
tomorrow.
tomorrow they're coming by, so I'll have it up hopefully. I don't know if I'll have it up this week, but it's going to be eye-opening. It is. Not only are they going to teach me a lot, but as I said, they're going to make me freaking do it.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. I'm an active participation guy. I told you earlier, I reached out to a company called Southern Rentals, and I got a freaking Zamboni for Goldberg's garage.
You need
So
it. Yeah.
I need it as an absolute understatement. But
Yeah.
I think the cool thing is that with these companies, they understand that I'm not just a shill, right? I mean, I'm an active participant. And so they'll get some good video of me riding the Zamboni across the
Yeah. I mean, it's not an
15,000
actual
square feet.
Zamboni, but it's a
Well,
ride
it's a
on.
miniature Zamboni. What do you mean it's not an actual Zamboni?
Well,
Yes,
for people listening, it scrubs and cleans the floors of like a big warehouse like this in your place, and it's just a kind of a powered ride around version that is cool. It's very, very cool.
oh yeah, yeah, and like I told them, the reason why I know about it is because of Kendig and his show, and him driving around and cleaning the floor of his garage. So, I think it's a oh, that's a good shot. I think it's a good. I don't want to say collaboration because I'm not a freaking YouTuber by trade, but it's a good relationship, I believe. So you will be seeing Goldberg driving a miniature Zamboni around the garage here soon. So
Yeah. By the way, behind you, is that the Grenadier?
that's the Grenadier.
Yeah. I like it. I think
You know, I like it too, except for if it didn't have like a radiator leak right now, that was contributing to the nastiness of my floor. But I think it's cool as hell. The fact is, I wouldn't have it for myself because of my size. So
yeah.
for wide guys, it's not the vehicle. But Wanda loves it, and if you tune into Carlectables on Paramount Plus here in the coming months, you'll see us actually kind of stealing it. so that provided for an interesting day. I'm doing a car trade in the foreground, and in the background, Wanda pulls in the Range Rover and pulls out in the Grenadier, and I'm like, oh shit! I guess I bought two cars a day. So, she absolutely loves it. The best part about the vehicle for me is that it's unique, and you don't see them a lot.
Yeah.
She was the first person on the road with one here, which is something to be said. But they're cool. I guess it's a BMW drivetrain in the thing,
Okay.
I believe.
Yeah.
Um,
I think it is. We got into this
whole powertrain. We did get into it
yeah.
a little bit. There's two
Yeah.
motor options. It's underpowered a little bit, but the fact is, it's like an old FJ40 Land Cruiser kind of G-Wagon, toned down. It's just a different vehicle. It's cool, and I like it because it's capable. It's under $100,000, and my wife is in love with it, which is the only thing that matters.
Yeah. Alistair drove it. He put it on the test track, and you're right, which is kind of a fun, nostalgic piece. And then we walked around the LA Auto Show. I was with Adam Carolla. We were really looking at this thing. He thought it was kind of cool, kind of fun.
It's kind of neat, man. I mean, I don't know. It's hard with this camera. Let me show you the front of it. The front is really, I guess, the selling point look wise. Look at that. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like an old Land Rover.
It is. I mean, it truly is.
But it's new.
But it's new, yeah. It's a cool piece. I think if you can see, I mean, it's kind of like an aircraft.
Yeah.
In that
all the switch gear is just like actual switches, rocker switches, and like if you're wearing gloves, you can use the actual switches.
Yes. Fortunately, it's an active. You have to be an active participant in this vehicle. So I think it's really cool, and I guess it's built in three different. It's built in Hambach, so I guess Hambach are the people that do the G wagons. Maybe I'm not completely positive, but I think they have something to do with the production of the G wagon. But I guess it's three countries contributed to the build of the vehicle, so it's got three different flags on it. And I don't know. Like I said, I'm
Yeah.
learning every day about it, and all I care about is what that Wanda likes it. So
Yeah. Awesome. All right. So next week you're going to be off next week, or you're heading to Colombia, going to do the stem cells thing. Can't wait to hear about it in 2 weeks to see how it all went. I mean, already you're feeling good by just cleaning everything up, and then when you get back, let's see how you feel.
yeah, I'm terrified.
Yeah.
Nothing scares me uh, except for something that I have no control over, which is a needle going in my spine. Yeah, so I'll let you guys know how it was, and hopefully I survived through the
Yeah.
process.
Listen, I want to know about the process, not just the results. I want to, like the whole thing. So, when you get back, we're gonna have when you got freshly renewed Goldberg, just the whole process. See
I'm
how it.
afraid to see what the freshly renewed Goldberg is going to be like compared to the Goldberg that you see right now. I'm not dipping for a week and having all this energy. It's pretty cool, man. I gotta admit it. I'm still a knuckle dragging, Neanderthal, but I just not dipping Copenhagen every 2 minutes.
Right. Okay. All right. So on that note, I think we're gonna wrap things up. And again, we're putting this episode up on YouTube so you can see some of the walk around stuff that you go. So even if you listen to this, go back and scroll through the video. It's on the CarCast channel, so you can see the stuff because there's a great shot of the sleigh back there, and a
I'm
bunch of
covering
stuff
up
in
the
the
grenadine.
garage. Garage looks good. Like it's filled out. You got the cars in there. It's yeah.
It's getting there, man. I mean, it's dirtier than dog shit. I'm an active participant. I've got everything in here now. I've pretty much gotten it to where everything's kind of in place. It's functional, and I'm slinging dirt everywhere, man. I got to take the drivetrain hoop off of this freaking Cobra, and I got to do this and that and get it ready for tomorrow. But thanks to all the people that are involved, whether it's Levrack or Lincoln or Magnaflow or Benpack, I mean, everything's pretty much in functioning order right now.
Yeah.
So we're jamming.
Yeah. Looks good. All right, guys, we're going to wrap things up. Thanks so much. And until next time, keep the air and the spare in the bag and the wheel.
And the dip out of your mouth.